Good evening, my name is Father Rayappa. I'm going to read paragraph number 24 from Laudato Si, Pope Francis' encyclical on ecology and environment. In the paragraph 24, Pope is discussing about the disastrous effect of the carbon dioxide emissions, especially greenhouse gases. They can cause damage. Actually, I feel so hot. The previous segment I was shooting and then I was perspiring. The heat right now, it's about 42 degrees Celsius. The humidity is 99. Can you imagine? So it is utterly like a gas chamber. I am in a gas chamber. So when I was a little kid, 50 years back, this is the month of June, the temperatures will be 37, humidity will be 85 or 80. But now 42 degrees Celsius and 99 humidity. This is the effect of carbon dioxide. Greenhouse gases can do so much of damage, not only for human health, for the planet and for the ecosystems, for animals and plants. And it is absolutely dangerous. And actually, it is called creeping normalcy. You know what is creeping normalcy? We are accustomed to the poisons. That is creeping normalcy. Slowly it creeps on you. You think it is normal. Actually, you know the frog. So you take a frog and you boil a pot of water, maybe 70 degrees, and then put the frog there. Frog will jump out. Immediately it will jump out of the pot. Tries to escape. But now you take the pot of water, cold water, you put it on the stove and you put the frog there. The frog won't jump out. The frog will be still, very happily acclimatizes inside the pot and very comfortable. Probably frog would sing. Now you slowly heat up the stove. So now comes 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees. The frog acclimatizes 10, 20 to the environment inside the pot. And it acclimatizes even 60 degrees, even 70 degrees, 80, acclimatizes. It doesn't dawn on a frog to jump out of a pot because body temperatures, it is acclimatizing with the environment. And 100 degrees, it would never think to jump out. It will be, at the end, it will be boiled alive. That is called creeping normalcy. Slowly, these greenhouse gases are creeping inside the atmosphere, in our environment, and slowly we are poisoned little by little. You must know the Zyklon B gas in concentration camps in Germany. Yeah, Hitler killed 6 million Jews by just carbon dioxide. The fancy name is called Zyklon B. But basically it is a carbon dioxide. So slowly we are inhaling, all life on earth is inhaling, and slowly we are committing suicide. Our bodies are acclimatizing. We don't want, like a frog, we don't want to jump out of the pot or do something about it. But we are slowly accustomed, acclimatizing. And this is called creeping normalcy. We think it is normal, but it is creeping. Slowly creeping. We think normalcy. Oh, it's quite normal. 40 degrees, 2 degrees Celsius and 99% humidity is normal. Yeah, it comes 100 degree humidity. 49 degree, 50 degrees Celsius and 100% humidity. You think it's still normal, but you will be boiled alive. So we need to wake up. That is what Pope is telling. On paragraph number, he talks about the disastrous effects of the greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide. He calls carbon cycle. Okay, I'm going to read paragraph number 24 because carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it's about 54% carbon dioxide is now concentrated in the atmosphere. So warming has effects on the carbon cycle. It creates a vicious circle which aggravates the situation even more, affecting the availability of essential resources like drinking water, energy, and agricultural production in warmer regions, and leading to the extinction of the part of the planet's biodiversity. The melting in the polar ice caps and in high altitude plain can lead to the dangerous release of methane gas, while the decomposition of frozen organic material can further increase the emission of carbon dioxide. Things are made worse by the loss of tropical forest, which would otherwise help to mitigate climate change. Carbon dioxide pollution increases the acidification of the oceans and compromises the marine food chain. If present trends continue, this century may well witness extraordinary climate change and an unprecedented destruction of ecosystems with serious consequences for all of us. A rise in the sea level, for example, can create extremely serious situations if we consider that a quarter of the world population lives on the coast or nearby, and that the majority of our megacities are situated in coastal areas. So carbon dioxide plays a very, very important role, a major role in driving greenhouse effect, and it is accelerating the climate change and a lot of disasters, drinking water problem, and agricultural productivity is coming down, and the extinction of species and the migration of animals from one ecosystem to another ecosystem, and also the carbon dioxide heats up the atmosphere. There is an increase of temperatures, and that puts pressure on ice caps in the North Pole and the South Pole. The polar ice is melting. You know what? Polar ice, it was deposited for the past 2 million years, that ice stacked on one another. Right at the bottom there are trees and there is grass which was buried some 2 million years back. All these trees and grass, in other words, carbon sinks are buried under this ice. When the ice melts now, all those grass and forests which have been covered 2 million years back, now they are exposed to the sun. So now the methane is increasing because the decaying grass and decaying forest is called methane. For the cow dung, you know that the cows, where they eat grass and when they excrete, it is called cow dung. The cow dung is full of methane gas because it is a decaying grass. So the same thing, when the ice melts away, it is called permafrost. In the Siberia, northern part of Russia, millions and million acres of land is covered with forest buried under the ice. Now ice is melting. It's called permafrost. Permafrost means there is no soil. All those trees are in the ice, mixed with little soil and ice, and now the methane gas is being increased. Methane is more powerful than carbon dioxide. They measure by a term called global warming potential, which means, for example, if carbon dioxide molecule, one molecule is 1 AK-47 gun, the methane one molecule is equal to 22 AK-47 machine guns. You understand that? That is called global warming potential. So carbon dioxide molecule is only one gun, but methane is 22 guns. So that tells you how powerful methane gas is. Now it's being increased in the atmosphere because the polar ice is melting, and all those methane gas which was locked up 2 million years back now being released into the atmosphere. That is not sounding good at all. And Pope is talking about the destruction of ecosystems, very, very hard, especially the marine ecosystem, oceans. You know what? When the carbon dioxide is being increased in the atmosphere, ocean is also a carbon sink. There is 3 carbon sinks. The carbon dioxide, what we put in the atmosphere, 3 carbon sinks try to mitigate. One is forest, the second is ocean, the third is land. So the ocean is taking now the carbon, so the water is being acidified. So if acidification is happening in the ocean, then it will become carbonic acid when too much of carbon dioxide. The ocean ecology is very delicate than the terrestrial ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem can take lot of brunt, lot of disasters from the natural events, but ocean is very delicate. Even a little bit of more carbon dioxide, there will be increase in the temperatures in the ocean water. The ocean water is so cold in Pacific and Atlantic and Indian, then a small increase of temperatures can kill all the coral reefs. Corals are gone. Actually, coral reefs, they produce almost 20% of the oxygen supply to our atmosphere. We depend on coral reefs, not only Amazon, not only the northern part of boreal forest. They produce so much oxygen. Our atmosphere is being renewed constantly, but also corals in the ocean. They produce oxygen, not only for humans, that's for the ocean organisms. They produce oxygen because ocean needs oxygen. And if there is no oxygen stripped off, it will become carbonic acid or hydrogen sulfide. That is what, when the oxygen goes away from the water has a foul smell. So that is what's happening in the oceans right now. And the marine food web is collapsing because the food chain starts from the plankton. Plankton means they are the primary producers in the oceans. Like in the terrestrial ecosystems, actually the grass, the plants are the primary producers. They capture energy, they photosynthesize, and they make sugar and the food. So they are the basic. So they are the primary producers. They produce food. Without them, there is no life on earth. The same thing in the ocean, plankton, that is the primary producers. That is the small, like a grass or a plants or leaves which capture energy from the sun. They produce. And then they supply to krill, that is the primary consumers, and they eat, and then the food chain goes on to carnivore and omnivore. So those plankton, the basic factor in the food chain, is being destroyed in the ocean because of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide and methane. So Pope is expressing anguish, he is expressing shock, he is expressing concern, and he is appealing to the international community to act, and act now. So please read the paragraph number 24 from Laudato Si, Pope Francis' encyclical on ecology and environment. And thank you, and God bless.